Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah. Koholo Yimalayawa Bashim Yabashai Bahashim Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders. A great millstone who rule well, that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to take the water to all the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yabashai to the best of their ability. Jachna Nawaf. Just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And Esau is out here really losing right now. The European, they losing right now, man. Now this is this guy, the creator of Dilbert. If you're not familiar with Dilbert, it's it's pretty much so-called white people. They cut the shit out of the newspapers, hang them up. Where I've always seen this shit at was at, the cafeteria. They'll hang it up by the coffee machine. Always got these silly ass, jokes about coffee and, it's a cartoon, hookup that's pretty much out of the newspapers. And I'm talking about newspapers global, not globally, but throughout the Americas. But they've canceled this guy, right? All these newspaper publishers, throughout all the major states. And I'm sure he was making pretty good money. But, they canceled him, right? It says, canceled Dilbert. I done a lesson on it a few days back, but this is like a little extras to it. As far as like, this is his first TV interview, so to speak. It says, canceled Dilbert creator Scott Adams tells Chris Cuomo Black America is actually completely fine with his racist remarks. Now, if you're familiar with Chris Cuomo, too, you already know, they kind of, I didn't even know that they had given him another show. I'm not sure what channel he's actually on. He was kind of in battle with the New York governor at the time or whatever, and they got rid of his ass from, I think he was on the same network as far as Don Lemon, just a bunch of weirdos anyway. But it says, in battle, Dilbert creator Scott Adams spoke out this week to defend his racist remarks and to claim Black America is actually completely fine with the recent rant. And a surprising development to come 2 weeks after the 65-year-old Dilbert cartoonist caused controversy after posting a seemingly racist rant to TikTok in February. Adams sat down for an interview with Chris Cuomo on Monday to discuss the controversy he created. But rather than apologize and clarify his racist remarks, Adams instead, he doubled down on his position and argued social media and businesses show an anti-whiteness bias and that his comments were misconstrued. The way things are going, the signals are blaring in every way, Adams told Cuomo in the cartoonist's first televised interview. You know what? Let's see. Salakia, bear with me real quick. Sometimes you can get that. Yes, we can continue reading it. They don't have the actual video, but I'm sure you could probably look it up on maybe YouTube or whatever. Because, sometimes it seeing somebody talk as opposed to reading what they're saying, gives a little bit more insight. It says, but rather than apologize and clarify his racist remarks, Adams instead doubled down. Okay, we got that. It says, the way things are going, the signals are blaring in every way, Adams told Cuomo in the cartoonist's first televised interview since being canceled last month. Social media shows an anti-whiteness bias. Businesses do. ESG, CRT, DEI, all these corporate and government things. What I want your audience to know is that when I complained about black people having a bad attitude about white people, that was me saying nothing about black people, he continued. These people are incredible. It was saying I don't want to be around people who have a bad feeling about me. Well, yeah, I guess, hey, you should have said that about, shit, that can be somebody in your family. It's people that don't even want to be around their wife, their husband, their sons or daughters. You see what I'm saying? But you threw that the black people in there. And let's just get the record straight again. We always like to bring this out. No such thing as black people. There's just different shades of brown people. There are no such things as white people. They're just different shades of pinkish to reddish in color. That's it, man. Those are social constructs that was made up by the so-called white man. No such thing as black or white people. Okay, it says Adams also explained that when he refers to black people, he does not mean all black people. Okay. Because, see, with the title where he's saying that so-called black people don't have no problem with what he said. I personally don't, because I prefer that white people be this way. So-called white people be, just go ahead, because we know it anyway. We know it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because we understand that battle between Esau and Jacob. We understand that there's a battle that's been going on between Esau and Jacob since, basically the beginning of time, even going back as far as Cain and Abel, so we understand it. And what they've done is they've slitheringly, snakily snuck themselves into this, into the system, like as if they're like this loving people. You see, we know if you're old enough, because what they're trying to teach the children now is that they were never enslaved. Our people were never enslaved. But if you're old enough to know, that, hey, these so-called white people done a lot of dirt to us. You didn't see any of that stuff come out last month in February, as far as what they call Black History Month and all that other shit. Black History Month, it's phasing out anyway. That's trash, man. You believing in Black History Month and black this, black that, then you're way behind, man. We are Israelites. We are the children of Israel. We come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which his name was changed to Israel. Yashala in the Hebrew tongue. Princes of the power, man. So if you believing in Black History Month in 2023, come on, man. That's like believing in white Jesus, that he's coming back to save you from the same things that his people done to you. They don't make no sense, man. Anyway, he says, I think you needed to do some kind of huge disclaimer on it, Scott. Cuomo responded, you're saying I'm about to say something to try and rile people up. The only thing I'll push back on is, I read you saying that this was a poll that changed course for you. Cuomo added, referencing the Rasmussen poll. So it was a poll that they took, basically, a little vote Adams used to form his racist claims. I don't know why you would ever take anything they say as a truth of the matter. Well, I mean, hey, shit, you can do, a poll to say, let's, ask, how they do. They'll call your house, be trying to do surveys and shit for votes and whatever. They might have sat down, with about 300-400, maybe 150, so-called black people and say, hey, well, how do you feel about so-called white people? Hey, they might have got some real truths, especially if they calling over the phone, because, people are a little more, they'll say a few more things if their faces are not, plastered to it, as opposed to in a public setting. So it says more. And then, hey, this is a different generation. It depends on what age range they ask that poll to. Now, we do know that a lot of they try and stiff the younger generation as far as blacks. But the younger black generation, they definitely not going for the bullshit like how our grandparents and great grandparents were. They're not with that softy shit with the so-called white man. They'll whoop, they'll put some, Jake will get busy. You get to trying some of that shit you was trying with our grandparents. Jake not going for that these days. So if they was asking and they had a poll or a survey in a age range of like, especially 18 to maybe 30, Jake was probably like, man, well, So it says, more importantly, when you put the message out there, there has to be some accountability for it, because how fragile our fabric is. What's Cuomo talking about as far as how fragile our fabric is? He understands and he knows that, hey, look, man, chill with that. Hey, look, we done some real dirty shit to these people. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to get into it, but they know. They know deep down. It's hard for the so-called white man to sit down and watch something like 12 Years a Slave, Amistad, Kuta Kinte, and they don't want to see, man, that shit. They like, hey, damn, we done all that. But the thing of it is they've done worse. They're not even showing you exactly what they've, a lot of the things that they have done to us, man. We're going to only see that in the kingdom. That's going to give us, like that real righteous type of anger, man. I believe, I'm just speaking as a man right now. Hey, when we get to see the shit that they really done, in the backdrop. Can you imagine? I mean, come on, man. Shit like alligator bait, them using our babies, you know what I'm saying? The luring alligators and shit like that as bait. That's small scale stuff compared to some of the stuff in the backdrops of what they doing, man. The so-called, and see, this is what Cuomo was talking about, that our fragile fabric. You know how fragile this subject is. It says, Cuomo explained further, and the idea of white people getting away from black people, there are a lot of people who really believe that, Scott, and how you are counted among them. Well, the Lord didn't put us together to begin with like that. We're not supposed to be all up underneath no so-called white people. America is not supposed to be the way that it is, man. That's the reason why the Lord separated the Tower of Babel. The Lord didn't intend for everybody to be all one melting pot amongst each other. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't supposed to be that way. So, matter of fact, let me see here real quick. Salakia. Let's grab a quick scripture real quick. In the comments is even crazier. Yeah, man, the Lord didn't intend for everybody to be all. The so-called white man put that together, man. It's not wrong with, nothing wrong with nations, saying, hey, all right, I do some work with you. I do a deal with you. I have elements over here in my continent, or, certain, we're going to do some trade and things of that nature. But all that living amongst each other and shit, it's not supposed to be like that. It's not, I mean, even when you really think about it, think about America. Now, you can have all these people here, but everybody's still separated from each other because that's just the way that the Lord, he intended it to be. Though we're in this one continent, the so-called Chinese people don't live amongst the so-called white people like that. You might have a sprinkle here or there. The so-called Chinese don't live in the neighborhoods with Jake, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. South Koreans don't even live around North Koreans. And they the same people. You know what I'm saying? Giraffes don't hang out with gorillas, man. Giraffes hang with giraffes. Gorillas hang with gorillas. Crows hang with crows. Red robins, they hang with red robins. You might see them pull up if there's some bread on the ground. You know what I'm saying? They gonna all get their peck in. But one of those birds out of that group is gonna be a little more aggressive or a little more powerful, man. Now, let's see here if we can find this one. Yeah, Deuteronomy 32:8. When the Most High divided the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. He separated the people, man. Because people are different. It's just that simple, man. It's just that simple. I mean, I don't care where you go. It might be a bundle up, but America is real notorious for that. Say a place like New York, or if you go to California, it's a smorgasbord. It's like every nation of people in the world live in those particular states like that, real strong. But what they'll do is they all have their own neighborhoods. They prefer to be with their own. And that's just the way that the Lord set it up. So when this guy says this right here, hey, it don't make me hey, I prefer, because I don't want to be around you. I don't even want to be around them when I go to work. I just have to because I have to do the job. But once I leave that plantation, man, I'm not going to hang out with no so-called white people. I don't want to be around them. I'm most definitely not moving around them. I don't give a shit, what the affordance. If I can afford it, I'm not going to move around them. I don't want to be in no gated community with them. I don't want to be living next door to them, across the street from them and all this other shit. So that's why I don't see anything wrong with what this guy said, right? Because he's just showing his true colors. I prefer so-called white people just go ahead and come on out with it, man. And stop with the lies, man. Stop with the bullshit. Stop with that slithery, that snake shit. Because the scripture says never trust thine enemy. But they slither their asses up on stage. That's just like Joe Biden. I think he was just in Selma, I think yesterday or the day before. And you got a bunch of damn Negroes out here that are going to vote for this clown again. Now, something that I seen also today, I think I wanted to do a little lesson on it because I got to find it though. I seen it on Euro News where Joe Biden, basically what's going on with Japan and South Korea, I think it is, where, back in the days, I think I'm trying to think which war it was or whatever. But anyway, they ended up, like in somewhat, enslaved, or they had like they was using the Japanese women, I think, as concubines or something to that extent. You know what I'm saying? So now all of a sudden they're getting reparations, so to speak. And Joe Biden, he's with it. He agreed to it, and he's got this little speech. He said what he said, and I'm thinking to myself, like, but Negroes went out and voted for this clown, and niggas been talking about reparations for a long time. He part of his campaign. When he got Jake to come out and vote for his ass was, talking about some damn reparations. But as soon as they got there, what did they do? You ain't heard shit else about it, right? Anyway, though, and this is pretty much about it with this. Let's see what else they got. It says it's almost entirely white people that cancel me. Yeah, you're right. Because you know why they done that? Because the Lord has it where you're living in a day and time where, let's get this one scripture right here, where they don't want they really don't want to be held accountable. Now they're acting like, okay, well, slavery is so bad, but they made a fortune off slavery. A lot of these companies have been around since slavery. They made a fortune off of it. Now all of a sudden they want to try and act as if they're so inclusive and we love everybody and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? But basically, Psalm 64:8 is a lot of what's going on. It says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. So they don't want that smoke. They don't want no problems with that. The only people out here that they're not stepping away from, or they're not going to cancel, they're not about to cancel nobody that's got anything to do with the LGBTQ. Those are the only people really in the world with rights. So now, had he said something about them, shit, we already know what's up. Because you so-called blacks, say you're most definitely, you're not even, I can't even say we're secondary when it comes to these people. We're not even third, fourth, fifth, or sixth. They just used Jake to march with them, and then they got all their little rights and shit, and then they moved on. Like straight up. But they're making their own tongue to fall upon themselves. So they don't want to be seen as, I'm this bad guy. But hey, the so-called blacks, they don't even run around out here and they don't protest like that. Jake don't cancel people. This is so-called white. He said it right. It's a so-called white man that's canceling people. Jake, they don't give a shit, man. Jake don't care about nothing, man. You may have a sprinkle of people that might say, well, and this dude is a cartoonist. Nobody thinking about no guy. Jake don't read no damn newspapers. You know what I'm saying? So Jake not thinking about no damn Dilbert cartoon, But when it comes straight down to it, right now, when Nike got rid of Kyrie, you think niggas will stop wearing Nikes. You think, nah, man, Jake not getting rid of they. You last person you gonna see is burning some Nikes is Jake. The fuck out of here. Jake don't care about nothing like that, man. So Jake not canceling nobody. Jake don't care. You can say whatever you want about him. You can do whatever you want to him. Hey, Jake, right now, they love the so-called white man. They love this place. They love America. But you do have a nice percentage of Jake that's waking up. That's like, man, hey, look, man, all right, now, goddamn. But that's all by the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man, that our people are waking up and they seeing through the bullshit that Esau been pushing. Okay, he says, it's almost entirely white people that cancel me, Adam said. It might be entirely because they're the ones that own the publishing companies and newspaper. Well, you damn right. What Jake, own a newspaper? Even if Jake they had a couple of little publications back in the days, so-called white man be buying all that shit out, man. Jet Magazine, your BTs, and your whatever Jake may have had out here, man. Jake not out here with no Wall Street Journal, or no Guardian, or no Atlantic. We already know who own those papers. You see what I'm saying? So we already know what's up, man. It says, and matter of fact, let me grab this scripture. Esau ass not smart, man. He's losing it. He done got real sloppy out here. He is not how he used to be. And matter of fact, he's not the way he used to be because the Lord is putting a spotlight on that ass, man. The Lord is showing this man to be the wicked that the Bible speaks of. 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We're not ignorant of this man's ways of getting down, man. His schemes. We're not, we're not ignorant of that shit, man. We know how this man get down. But hey, he done, this guy, hey, overnight he lost it all as far as that career though. As far as his cartoon, somebody might pick up on whatever. Who knows? He says, so far every black person I've talked to, and of course a lot of people contacted me, and that they said, hey, what's going on? And I said, look at the context. So it don't make no difference what these people say, man. Jake gonna still following behind Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. A lot of our people, man, that's why 2/3 of them are gonna have to be destroyed, because your own people gonna fight against you, all in the name of the so-called white man. It's a lot of our people in the military. Can you imagine going to the military and fighting for this place? I've never had an inkling of a thought, well, no, matter of fact, though, you know what? Before I came into this truth, when 9/11 went down, I can admit that I was into that American shit. Like, what they do? They bombed our buildings, and I was, American this, So I can say from that stand, I can remember how stupefied I was, you know what I'm saying? And believing that I was actually an American. Now being in this truth, I'm thinking like, man, like why the fuck, man, fuck this boy. I can't wait. Motherfucker, fuck the Twin Towers. I can't wait till this whole continent is a lake of fire now. You see? Okay, it says, so black America is actually completely fine, both conservative and liberal, if they see the context. Of course they are. Jake running around out here the poster boy for the LGBTQ. So they don't care, man. They don't care about the future of our children. They don't care about no reproducing. They don't care about these people trying to push really in reality genocide on them. They don't even think. Jake don't be thinking about stuff like that. They don't even, matter of fact, let me get this one scripture. Jake don't even consider, man. I'm just flowing in the spirit, man. Hey, these people, man, the Lord is working on their asses right now. And that's all that it is. Isaiah 1:3. The ox knoweth its owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doeth not know, my people doeth not consider. Our people don't consider that we are the Hebrew Israelites, man, and what's their real nationality. They really believe that they're a color out of a crayon box. They really believe that their nationality. They don't even think of nationality. You ask Jake what ethnicity he is, he gonna tell you I'm a Christian. He'll give you a religion for his ethnicity or his nationality, man. They don't consider, man, that they're Israelites. They don't consider that, the Lord said that you're a peculiar people to me, that I love you above all nations. You are my inheritance to me. Jake don't be thinking about stuff like that. That's why I'm saying with a guy like this, if you ask the average person about this Dilbert shit, be like, who? Jake don't read no, because Jake like a newspaper. He got a what? Who? Come on, man. I'm telling you that now. Let's get that again. Verse 3. Isaiah 1:3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doeth not know, my people doeth not consider. Because an ox is a real, kind of just a stubborn, strong animal. It just moves about and just kind of, take orders, so to speak. It's just, it really in reality, it's just a stubborn animal in a sense, though, because it's just got a mind of its own. Same thing with a ass or a donkey. Just got a mind of its own. It's hard to get them to, to move or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, one sec here. Just lock you for that. I had a little interruption, but yeah, man, Jake don't consider, man. These particular animals, the Lord is saying that these animals are actually pretty much they're actually more intelligent than our people. Because they don't consider. They don't consider going to the Lord. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and saying, Lord, these people have been over us for so long. And if they're praying about anything, they're praying to white Jesus, which is a damn idol, man. So what's going on with this man right here? We pretty much, got it. You know what I'm saying? They got the rant down here as far as what he said. You can go into it and look into it if you want to. Then you got the comments, of course. This person says, please, this Danielle Trent, please explain how black people are okay with what he said. Does he know every black person in America to know that? So, you know, you got, see, that's what I'm saying. You're going to see black, black, black. A statistically significant number of black people are okay with what he said. I guess your opinion is just statistically insignificant. Anyway, one person had a, let me see. Oh, this person right here, Sam Young. You know, this is a damn Edomite. Please explain how black people are oppressed in 2023. Hint, you can't. See? And that's the way that they think. That's the way that they think. They really think that, you know what I'm saying, like us being oppressed by them 500 years and we're still in their hands to this very day. They don't think like that. They just think that, okay, well, you have freedom. See, they're not thinking of sovereignty. They're not thinking of us having a military. They're not thinking of them coming to our country and having a fucking passport to get in. They're not thinking like that. They're not thinking about, you know, us, you know, having our own mineral resources and hospitals and library. You know, they don't think like that. They just, see, this is the thing. See, they look at it like it's just a little small speck, you know what I'm saying? But see, the Lord, he see this thing as being enormous. And you so-called white people, you're going to have to pay for the things that you've done, man. And you're not going to get around it. And we're going to be on y'all ass all this week as far as the Passover, baby. You see what I'm saying? We going to reveal your ass. The Lord is using us to reveal you, man, as being the wicked that the Bible speaks of. Because like I said, again, you know, we can't leave this country without the permission of the so-called white man. Now, they might say, well, I can't either. Well, that's your fucking problem. Go talk to your own people. But when it comes to us, you're claiming that we're free. You freed us, but we still need your permission, your hall pass, as far as your passport. You know what I'm saying? Or your ID. We need your birth certificate. We need to prove that we've taken all your scientific shots and shit to get outside of this country. And then, even then, we still have to be back here at a certain time. Or if you try and go and get what they call dual citizenship, it's people that's done left America that still have to pay taxes to America just because they were born here. So how the fuck are we free? See? So while they trying to play the game as if the Lord don't know what's going on, it's just water under the bridge. Hey man, the Lord is about to give it to y'all asses, man. 2 Corinthians 2:3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. And that falling away goes off into, the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, falling away from our heritage, falling away from our customs, our culture, our language, and everything else. We don't even know who the hell we are, right? And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. This is how you know we're in the last days. We're definitely about there, man. We're living in these last days. That's why it's so important that you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you need to wake y'all asses up, man, because the Lord going to destroy you right along with these people. It's that simple, man. You're going to get destroyed right along with these people with all that, I'm American and I'm black. Hey, all right, keep that shit up and see how that turn out for you. Because the Lord is about to destroy and he's about to place real hell on the so-called white race in the kingdom, man. And at least then you'll be in your right state of mind, your right senses, and know that, because you're going to know in his kingdom. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, one thing that you're going to know is that those motherfuckers was your enemies all the time. And you're going to have a real perpetual hatred for their asses, just like they've always had for you. That's going to come. Straight up, man. See, this man is the man of sin. He's the son of perdition. Job 9:24 goes off into the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? You know how wicked it is for Joe Biden to say, he agree with some reparations and all this other shit for Japan and all this other shit. But he got on the podium and told you niggas how how he believes in reparations and just slithered you. Slithered you. And then as soon as he got in there, he talked down on all them Negroes like they want nothing. Helped him get in there. Helped him get voted in. Now he's back out here on the campaign trail coming 2024 because he know he's a fuck up. But anyway, in the meanwhile, You know, we already know Esau Edom is he's picking these presidents anyway. So if they want senile ass Joe to be a president again, on full well that man can barely talk, speak, or walk, that man need to be in hospice, man. They just sent Jimmy Carter to hospice. Jimmy Carter got more motherfucking sense than this guy, man. He needs to be in hospice right along with Jimmy Carter. And Jimmy Carter, I think he's damn near 100. I think he's like about 95. You see what I'm saying? So we see the wickedness and the evil of Esau Edom. And the Lord, man, hey, he's making it. He's showing it. He's putting the spotlight on it. And these so-called white people, man, they running like roaches when the lights are flicked. They don't want no parts of what they done. Now all of a sudden, you know, it's just, you know, and they don't want to say, you know, they don't want to apologize. You have here and there, you might have this group that want to stand there and hold hands and kumbaya with your ass. You know what I'm saying? Talk about some damn Martin Luther King and we shall overcome and all that, you know, that Rosa Parks shit. You got a few of those liberals or whatever they call lefts, you know, that might say, oh, yeah, we're, you know, yeah, that's, you know, but they ain't really sorry. The Lord they gonna be really sorry. See, people are not really sorry until they're actually punished. That's when remorse comes in. They can say all they want. They can act as remorseful as they want to. Look at a person on court TV. Check out some of that court TV shit when a judge slammed down that gavel on their ass after giving their ass his life in prison. They screaming, they crying, the mama in the background. Oh, my Lord, oh, Lord, oh, baby. Yeah. See? Motherfuckers don't know what's up until real punishment kick in. And it's going to be the same way with our people, too. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, hey, the Lord sent his son to die for us, man, to clear us, to cover us. And you motherfuckers still out here acting a goddamn fool. You're taking it for a joke. You're taking it for granted. And the Lord like, all right. Hey, the grace is there. But that grace period is almost up. That door of mercy is about to close. And when it closes, it's going to be just like the days of Noah. When that damn door closed on that boat and them big ass raindrops started to come down on their asses. And day 1, day 2, day 3 of that rain coming down where that water was. And these motherfuckers out there floating on a piece of wood. Remembering everything that Noah was talking about how crazy he was. It's going to be the same way. It's going to be too late. Your ass is going to catch that thermonuclear fire, man. That second death. You don't want no parts of that second death. That first death. Can you imagine the first death with the flood? Pregnant women with a baby on their arm. You know, out here with a 3-month or 4-month-old on your arm. Back pregnant again. Because, you know, people was multiplying back then. All your babies, you got a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4 every year they was getting, you know, you got a damn stepping staircase of children. And that water was coming through, taking their asses away to go along with your grandmama, your granddaddy. So when it comes to this nuclear fire, it's going to be pregnant women getting it with they toddlers. Your grandmama and them going to get, hey, I'm telling you, man, the Lord is no joke, man. This punishment that's about to come to this planet is about to be so goddamn crucial, man. You're going to wish that you listen to the men of the Lord, man. And the men of the Lord, as far as GMS with this 100% truth, you're going to wish. So, hey, I'm telling you, I don't mean to rant. But, hey, that's just by the Spirit, man. Hey, the man of sin is being revealed right now. And if you don't see it, we don't know what else to tell you, bro. We putting it out there. We ain't going to let his ass slide. We going to keep on hitting him over the head. You so-called white people, you're the wicked that the Bible speaks of. Your attitude shows it. Your actions shows it. Your whole everyday get down shows it. And the Lord is showing through social media. Y'all been pieces of shit to the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American race, man, which are the Hebrew Israelites. You're going to get it, man. So with that, I pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwame Yashala.